Hello everybody, this is Tevrion. I am the lead developer for Fireglass Entertainment, and specifically for the Erenor project. First off, I want to apologize for not getting these vlogs out as often as I'd like. I've been hard at work trying to finish up some of the newer features for the beta patch 0.2.0, but things have been going very well so far. Uh, I've paused our advertising campaigns while I work on these features, specifically the new stat features and the new inventory features, which are sweeping changes. I'm sure a lot of you mostly know if you follow us on Facebook, we are now going to have, instead of just an offense slot and a defense slot, you're going to have a head slot, shoulders, weapons, boots, legging, chest plate, the whole works. And it's pretty exciting. You can actually see a preview. It's actually more than a preview since it is partially functional by going to the character page, and on the right hand side below the stats it'll say view equipment, and if you click on that you'll get a pop-up and it'll show a lot of the new inventory page. It's a lot more dynamic than the old one. Like if you hover over things it'll tell you what they are, and with this one you'll just be able to click on the item and it'll go right to your character and it'll be equipped. If you look to the right you'll see that I've added a bunch new inventory slots where before we had, I think the max was 8. I've increased it to 20 for regular players and 25 for premium players. So this is to accommodate the 200 new items that I've added to the game. So we have 200 new items, a bunch of new item slots. We have like 12 new stats. I'm sure you all saw fire resistance, ice resistance, earth resistance, air resistance. You have armor, you've got dodge, you've got all these awesome stats. And instead of just, being a straight stat, we've got some that work on dice rolls, we've got some that work the traditional way. We've just got all sorts of amazing things that are coming to Erenor. And these are pretty difficult to work into the game, I'm not going to lie, but with hard work and perseverance, we're going to get them working, and we're going to be a greater game for it. I wanted to take a moment to talk about some of the outreach we've been doing. We're actually going to be bringing in another community manager. He was a player for Stargate Wars and Atlantean Wars, and he's going to basically be our outreach guy. He's going to do what I've kind of been doing, which is going to other games and talking to people and saying, hey, take a look at this, just give it a try, why not? Because we have a pretty good product, especially once we have these new features done and the patch is released. We're going to really have a solid product, and I know just people, once they play it, they'll want to stay. And we have quite a few players now. I've been trying to increase forum participation. I've reinstituted the auto forum account creation, which has led to some new newbies on the forums, which is good. I've also been keeping track of player activity, and it's stronger than it has ever been, which I'm glad to see. It's actually kind of interesting when it comes to participation. I actually have it set up so that once a week it'll email me a little, basically a form. It'll show me how many pages were accessed, how many times people fought one another, how many times a person completed a quest or something. So I have all those stats right in front of me. I know which quests are the most popular. I know which page is the most popular. I know, how farming's going. So that information is very important to me. So I know how to craft the game better. So I know what people like and what people don't like. But back to the stats and the items. The items, I think this is just going to be the thing that really transforms Erenor, makes it a superb game. Because before, items were kind of just, they were there, but they were kind of there for the sake of being there. The game really wasn't built around them. In this case, like I said, I'm going all out. So you're going to be able to itemize, like, do I want this item? Do I want this item? You're going to have choices. Different quests will have, instead of, hey, this is the item you're going to get, we're going to shift to more of a Dungeons and Dragons Online style, where at the end of quests, you can get a treasure chest and it has random loot. So, you could get a lot of different things. And so instead of running that quest, whatever, I've run that quest 100 times. Instead of running that quest 100 times and getting the same item every time, you actually will have a chance to get an item you need. Like, hey, I need this item to finish the set. And there are a lot of sets. I've added so many sets. So, like, you can mix and match sets. I haven't added any set bonuses, but I'm not going to exclude that. That could happen down the road. The new combat system is going to be much more dynamic than the one we have now. I don't want to give too much away since is still some conceptualizing, but it's just so much better. It's going to be broken up into 3 phases. There's going to be dice rolls to decide who attacks first and how each phase goes. Stats are just going to be changed so much. It's hard to even explain, explain it in relation to how the stats are now because it's going to be so different. But these changes are going to be good. There's going to be some nerfs just to make things more equitable. Bosses are going to be buffed, and the way people get shekels is going to be changed, and turns are going to be much more important. I mean, they already are pretty important, with companions and stuff. But they're going to be a lot more important. So, like, if you want to attack somebody, if they're just a newbie, you're just farming, you can just put in 1 turn to attack them. And if you do 1 turn, there's going to be 1 phase to the fighting. And generally, obviously, you being way more powerful than them, you're going to win that 1 phase. But if you're fighting a more powerful person or a boss, you're going to want to put in a maximum of 3 turns, and that'll extend the fight to 3 phases. And each phase could go a different way. You could win the first phase, you could lose the second phase, and lose the third phase, and you lose the whole fight. Or you could win the first 2 and lose the last one and still win. So it's going to be very interesting, I think. We have a new logo, which I'm sure anyone on our Facebook has seen. It is fantastic. It was done by our team, Ray and Ochi, over at ClickArt Studios. We are now officially affiliates, and they are going to be providing artwork for Erenor from this point forward. They do just such amazing work. It's astounding. And before patch 0.2.0, I hope that we can finish our redesigning of the header so that it will accommodate the new logo. So there's going to be some changes in how things look. You can already see the new logo on the login page, and it just works so well. You have the Sun King there, you have the music playing, you have the logo. It all comes together. It looks very professional in my opinion, so very excited about that. When the patch launches, and I can't give you an exact time on that yet, but hopefully it'll be soon. We're going to go back to adding reinitializing the ad campaign. Really, we haven't been doing, even since the beginning, we haven't done much in advertising. Most of our money has gone to development. We haven't spent that much at all. But we have been saving up, and we have a money bomb that we're going to use, or we have one for launch, but we also want to have one for this patch. And I'd like this to be the last patch before launch, really. But, we never do anything. I don't like rushing into things. This is, I like taking my time, making sure things are done, because I want to make sure Erenor is done right the first time. I don't want to end up like some other games that I could mention, but maybe I shouldn't. That just they rushed into things and they really just shot themselves in the foot, because it's so much easier to make a change to the game in beta, because once it's live and people's accounts are their accounts, and that's just that, people will not accept changes that drastically. It just, people get upset. So the game needs to be balanced and thought out now, so that later things will be so much easier. Like I said, I've done games like this before, and I know how tempting it can be to just rush forward with them, but that's just not what we need to do. And of course, this game is going to hopefully build up excitement for the Erenor brand, and we're looking forward to the future. 3D games and stuff. I have no delusions of grandeur on this. I know that nothing's going to be easy or simple, but I really believe that Erenor will do great. I think that people will love it, and I hope you guys love it too and will stick with us. We've been getting our first premium subscribers, and clearly they're having a fun time. They like the game, and I appreciate them. Of course, I appreciate all gamers